For cheap D2R items, visit aoeah.com. You get 3% off with the code Arreat. Check the link in the description. Hello and welcome everybody. Last weekend the new ladder in Diablo 2 Resurrected has started, but since Season 4, nothing has changed in the meta. So we are still playing patch version 2.7. In Diablo 2 Lord of Destruction, there also was a long period without further updates, called the Vanilla Era. And actually, the current version of the game is quite good, because D2R has already brought many positive changes, resulting in a wide variety of playable builds. According to some players, the developers even did a bit too much when adding the Mosaic rune word, so there have been several posts in the Blizzard forum suggesting to nerf the Mosaic Assassin. Other games recently have shown that changes are not necessarily improvements or welcomed by all players, so maybe it's actually a good thing that the meta remains stable. However, there are still a few ways to bring a breath of fresh air into the game without having a major impact on the meta. In the past, I have already mentioned that some unique items like the Grandfather or Tyrael's Might could definitely take some upgrades to make them a playable alternative to the popular rune words. So here are two new suggestions. For the Grandfather, just a minor change. Remove the indestructibility and add 20% increased attack speed. This not only makes the weapon faster, but also allows ethereal versions to drop. An ethereal Grandfather would then be comparable to EBOTDZ in ethereal Berserker Axe with the runeword Breath of the Dying. A good roll would make it a very solid weapon for BVB barbs, and even a non-ethereal version with an ISED jewel looks quite playable. If that's too strong, the maximum damage bonus per character level could be reduced from 2.5 per level to 2, but in any case, the Grandfather would finally see some use again, both in PvP and PvE. For Tyrael's Might, I removed indestructibility and all resistances. Instead, it gets 20% increased attack speed and 20% faster cast rate, making the armor useful for all different kinds of builds. 100% enhanced damage to demons changes to 100% enhanced damage, and the defense bonus was raised to 170%, so an ethereal version could also become interesting for BVB barbs. The armor would have a bit less defense and attack speed than a rare PvP armor, but offers some more damage and 30 strength instead. Also here, some stats could be reduced if the armor shows up to be too strong. Maybe you are still critical of those 2 points, but you'll definitely like the next one. Remember the standards of heroes, which drop an Uber Tristram along with the Hellfire Torch? People usually don't even pick it up, because it has no purpose in the game. At the same time, players regularly need to socket some new items, which is why many of them create new characters, rush to the socket quest, and just delete the character after socketing. The perfect solution: we need a new Horadric Cube recipe for socketing items. Current socket recipes only work on normal bases, so they are kinda useless for top tier items, because people like to use superior bases for their rune words. And also magical, rare, unique and set items need sockets, of course. The standards of heroes should be part of this recipe, making the socketing process require some effort in return. Uber players then could offer socket mats in trade in addition to their torches. Now to my final idea, which I already mentioned years ago. Project Diablo 2 has shown how to introduce new areas without changing the structure of the game. A new act would mess with the storyline, so the simple solution is terror maps, which the player of course can find in the terror zones. They could look like scrolls of town portal and be opened in a specific place, similar to Uber Tristram portals in Harrogath. Different portals open in different places, containing large areas with masses of monsters, and using the existing design pool, mixing some elements from various acts. These areas should have a higher area level to be worth farming for high level players. Terror zones should still top out at level 96. It would be okay if the terror maps randomly get an area level between 85 and 94 and have a quite low chance to drop. The benefit of large maps is that players can stay in their game much longer instead of creating new games every couple of minutes. I guess that also would be less effort for the servers. A large terror map which takes around 30 to 40 minutes to clear would be a great opportunity when a bad terror zone is around. There are also players who have just a few hours per week to play, getting frustrated when bad zones show up during that time. Further, Blizzard could also still make money with the game by selling extra character slots and/or stash tabs. In the loot game, there never is enough room, and people are willing to pay for it. Feel free to write your thoughts in the comments. I say goodbye, take care, and may the loot be with you.
Follow me. Come on. Thank you. Goodbye.